and welcome back to another podcast with me, your host, Abir.
And Anne.
And today we're going to be talking about our race experience that we had yesterday and the week leading up to it and a lot of stuff. So let's get into it.
Yeah, so I actually today, made a list so you're prepared and
Oh,
I'm not
yeah.
gonna ramble.
This time we're
Sort of.
Yeah, maybe. It'll probably go off rails again.
So basically yesterday we had our first race of the year, first half marathon.
Woo! We did it.
And it was quite a journey,
Yeah.
getting there.
We both had our own challenges. I'd say
Yeah.
that.
So I thought we could talk about to start off the week before the race or the week leading to the race.
I mean, it was fun. I think it was taper week, so again, for me it was my legs I started having pain in different places, places that normally I wouldn't have pain, like my Achilles. I went on a quick easy run. I think 3 days before the race, and that was falling off. So I was like, this is not going well. What about you?
I had an extra taper week because I had my Achilles was not great, so I had to recover. I recovered for a week and then tried running again. Thought that I was okay, and then kind of went a bit too much, so it came back. So for the next 2 weeks, before the race, I was just basically biking. So that was kind of my personal challenge.
And do you think that helped you for this week?
I'm not sure. Probably, to be honest, because I didn't feel it during the race. I feel it now, but
The race is over, so it's good.
Yeah, but it's not I can still walk. It's fine. It's probably gonna be okay after a week again, and probably should be just continue with improving the strength of the Achilles.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think for me, before the race, what kind of was kind of scary, I guess, or I wasn't really sure about, was sort of finishing the race. If I would be satisfied and happy with my time, I guess.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's because of my Achilles and because of I guess my training not being as complete as I wanted to. I wasn't really sure if I could even beat my previous time.
Right.
I was scared that it would either be the same or worse than the first time. So yeah.
Yeah. And just to give you guys context, the first time we ran, it was last year. We didn't really run as much. I'd say that me and Ann, we kind of started running 2 months before, but it was more so a quick 5K here, just getting our feet wet. And I was having knee issues, so going into the race, before, the expectation was more about, can I run that distance? And then over last year, we've done our marathon training. We did a marathon. So going in this time around wasn't the expectation were different, but because of our injuries, we didn't want to. We wanted to still be better, or I wanted to still be better than my last year self because of all the training I did. So, there was the behind. I had the challenge of I do not want to be close to that number again.
Just want to touch on what you said, our goals being different than last year, and I think that's super important because last year, at least up until I guess now, I wasn't really number driven. I would just
now you're number driven. You see stats.
well, it's it didn't get me going, you know? Like I wasn't necessarily striving to be the fastest, whatever. My goal was just to complete the distance, and whatever time happened. But yeah, for some reason this year, I think is what you, again, going back, I just wanted to validate all of the like time and effort that I had put like the past year, you know, like just to validate that yes, like I'm like doing the right things, you know, and like I'm not just
Yeah.
like staying in a stagnant place, that I'm progressing. And so I don't know, I guess it's like the performance anxiety, like, oh, like I'm not too sure if I can do it and
Yeah.
things like that. So yeah.
Yeah. So that's not to say that, I know a lot of people that run a lot and they maybe only get 1 or 2 minutes more than their personal best of last year, but they've been running for a really long time. Whereas we're just beginners, complete beginners. So we are gonna get bigger time wise, like we're gonna get better.
Oh, I didn't know like how less I can run, to be honest. Like I didn't know like because you mentioned like other people who are more experienced, like they strive for like, you know, even like minutes or seconds off, you know. But like for me, like I don't really know. Like I just wanted to run less. I didn't want to run same or more. Even if it was a couple of minutes, I would still be happy with it, you know. Just because like I don't have that reference point yet. So yeah, I think that was for me. Like I just did not want to be like same or worse.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
just
you.
wanted to see
Yeah.
some improvement to kind of like motivate me to like continue running, or else I would have been like, okay, well, like I've been doing like all of these things, you know, like either I'm doing a bad job, or like, you know, like running is not for me or something, you know. So
No, no. I think running at any time is completely fine. That's not that, and it should be. It's just more like your own personal goal. I don't think there's like runners that are only because you're only considered a runner if you're pretty fast. I think anyone is a runner as long as you just go out. It's more of your own goal, like how
yeah.
fast can I go, and even if I had a bad time, I would be a little disappointed in myself, but it would just give me the feel to come back better next time around or be more prepared because I know that I can do it at least within me. I know that I have the drive to get to a certain level, and that's personally what like really matters. So seeing that like coming to result is a really nice thing. I touched on a point though you said was like not being on the feet too long, and I think that was also one of my motivation toward the whole race was like I do not want to stay longer running. Like I just want to finish it as quick as possible I can because the longer it is, I feel is way harder.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyways,
Yeah.
let's
Let's dive into it. Ooh,
do the actual
woo,
race.
woo. What
The
a
thing that like
day.
most people are excited about.
Yeah, what a day. Sorry.
So what time do? Because so I woke up at 4:35 because I tend to like I like to enjoy like having
You really enjoy it?
no, I like to enjoy having enough time for me to get ready and not like rush. So
You still feel kind of rushed for some reason.
but
Kept missing
we
stuff.
made
But
it.
we were a lot more
Yeah.
prepared. I
Yeah.
woke up at 5, kind of chill, do my own thing. The
Yeah.
race was at 8, so I was like, oh, I at least have 3 hours. Yeah. But yeah, early morning, and I really, what you feel about waking up at 5? Because honestly, it didn't feel that bad to me.
No, I think for me, waking up early is no issue when I know I need to get somewhere. So I'll just like force myself to get up. Um,
Oh yeah.
but if it's something like, I don't know, that's not as pressing, it'll be for sure more difficult for me.
I see. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we know the area. We've gone to the site already. We've done the course already. What was what was good about your race yesterday?
I did not stop running, and I ran at the pace that I was supposed to run at. I've been using Runner. Shout out to Runner. Thank you for the plan. You know, and Runner told me to run between this and this pace based off like all the workouts I've done for the last I think 8 weeks. I was on it for 8 weeks, and it was good because I kind of needed someone to tell me what's an appropriate pace I can run or a range of what I can run. And I tried testing it out where like sometime I'll go faster than that range just to see if I was okay too. And yeah, there was moment where I could, but then it quickly became a little unbearable running, thinking like, oh man, I have to do another 18 kilometers of this. So I'll kind of quickly go back to the range pace that was given until the last 5K. I'll say so. It was good. The pace was nice because that was one of my issues. The last two races I've done where I'll go off too quick at the very beginning, and then I get extremely slow by the end, or my muscles aren't used to that level of speed, so they'll start cramping. There's a lot of factors, and this time around, nothing on my lower legs affected me for the whole run.
That's good.
Yeah, so that was a nice thing.
All right,
And
great.
you? How was your race?
So the good part was good. I think the same as you. Being able to maintain the pace that I guess what I signed up for. I that was like really my challenge for me. To meet. So basically, I was in the third choral, which had a estimated finishing time of 2 hours, and I would it wasn't even my peripheral at that moment. I was just yeah, I'll be there, and then so I kind of followed. Eventually I wasn't at the same pace as the pacer for 2 hours,
Yeah.
but I was in the upper range of what I usually run at. So I'm really happy that I was able to sustain that throughout the race.
I'd say that one of the thing that kind of made it slower and what it was the corals itself, and now I have a bigger respect for the different coral levels because I decided to also be in the coral for 2 hours just so I can be with some of my friends, just having the start. But then what ended up happening was that everybody was running slower. So and there was so much, I don't know, it was a lot of people in that coral or not, but it was very hard to maneuver around at the beginning. I would say even the first 4 kilometers, because you're just like trying to get through everything. Whereas if you were in your own coral, you'd be probably matched with people slightly at your speed, and you wouldn't
Yeah.
have to worry about it. So yeah, I think if I was at my right choral, I could have even shaved off a few more minutes. But at the end, it was I think better to start with people at the beginning, just for the sake of it.
Would you qualify that as one of your challenges?
No, I wouldn't. No,
Okay.
I would change it up. I'll just go in the front next time. I wouldn't
Okay.
think it mattered. If anything, I would kind of probably hinder other people. But and this guy's too slow. What is he doing in my choral?
Yeah. Um,
But
so I guess it's a good segue
oh, you want
to
to talk about challenges?
yeah.
Oof. You want to go first this time?
Sure.
Yeah.
Let me see. Challenges. I think one of the thing that's not necessarily my body related would be fueling. I felt like eating was a challenge for me. Not in terms of digestion or whatever, but just like okay. Oh, we forgot one important thing.
What?
The weather.
Yeah, but we can talk about it afterward.
Yeah, but okay.
Or it could be part of the challenges, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
It is a
So
challenge. Well,
because I think it'll lead into the challenge I was gonna talk about. So basically, it was rainy.
yeah, it was heavy rain.
Yeah, it was not like light rain. It started off the morning with light rain, but as soon as we started the race, like it
Yeah,
was.
pouring.
Yeah, I wouldn't say like pouring, but it was wet enough that like you're just like soaked by the end, and like also like enough for like big puddles to form on
Yeah.
the course.
Yeah.
So that challenge kind of led me to also like being not bad, but like having trouble like eating. So
Oh.
yeah, because like I would eat and then like it would just like water all over my face and stuff, and
Wait,
it was just,
how?
I don't know, it was just not enjoyable, you know. And so that was like one of my challenges. Also, like I've eaten like those bars before, okay, but I gotta admit I did not.
What bars were they?
They were exact bar, which are great. I like the taste of it. It's really nice. I've eaten them during the marathon. Like I don't remember having that same issue.
I think because we're going much slower for the marathon.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Compared.
And I think I kind of stopped and like took my time to eat it.
Exactly.
Yeah, but oh yeah, so I didn't stop during my race as well. So I was trying to like eat and like run, also like sustain the pace, and I think that was like hard to do. With the rain, just like added an extra, I guess, element of discomfort doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rain was not like our friend yesterday. I wouldn't say it hindered as much, but it definitely made my shoes really heavy by midpoint because I would somehow stumble upon like I'll stumble upon sometime any like puddles because I wouldn't think about it, and or what happened was like eating, so they're in packages and everything is slippery.
Yeah.
So it was taking more effort to like
Yeah.
ripping it apart.
Yeah, I
You
had
know?
that trouble too.
Yeah.
I would tear off I would just tear off like one, I guess, corner.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be big enough to like release the bar. So I have to like finick and like kind of open up all the way and then like peel it too and
Yeah.
then like eating it. So yeah.
Yeah. And another thing with the rain was like the puddles started forming. So I didn't want to get into the water again. So I tried to jump around it. And I just say when you're running for that long, that any kind of motion that is off from you're running. So I'm 4 foot, but when I was jumping, I kind of
Your 4 foot?
no, I'm running on my 4 foot, like my.
Yeah, yeah.
But for some reason, when I was jumping over the puddle, I kind of hit my knee first. No, my back. How do you go?
My heel.
My heel first, and that kind of started. I started getting a little cramp on my calves, and I was like, oh man, race is over. That was it. 5K to go, but I'm like, I'm done. But luckily, it went away after 100K. One of our friends, though, Jeff, shout out to him, avid
yeah.
listener. But
But wait, I'm going to stop you there. We're going to talk about that later.
oh, okay. Well, just wanted because he also had like a
Yeah.
little cramp on both sides.
But yeah, I think the added challenge to also having it rain and forming big puddles is that like most people were trying to avoid the puddles. So sometimes it would just be a battle as to who gets to like go first in terms of like like circumventing like the puddles, and like because like instead of the road being this wide, now it's like a third because everyone's trying to avoid that big puddle. and so there's like
Yeah.
a kind of like a traffic jam at
But
certain points.
but did it feel like there were more people this time around? I felt
I
like
don't know.
more constrained, you know?
Maybe I don't know,
Like,
but maybe that's because everyone was trying to avoid puddles, so everyone's like crisscrossing each other instead of just going mostly straight.
yeah, I would say the first 5K felt constrained, but then after it kind of opened up, everybody, either you went too fast, so now you're slowing down, or people start finding their own pace, so you slightly got dispersed. But the whole race up leading up to the end, I'd say it was still you're juggling around a bit because there's just not enough space. That's one thing I miss from like the marathon where it was the entire huge road and
Yeah.
like thousands of people were running and there was just enough space for you doing your own thing in there.
Yeah.
Um, and then this time around we did it at Jean Trapeau, 21K, and it was a lot smaller. So
But I would say that I wouldn't say that there wasn't enough space. I just think that because again everyone was just trying to avoid like water, like
yeah,
it just shrank some of the paths, and so yeah, you either you go into the puddle and like wet your shoes and like have a terrible experience, or you kind of slow down a little bit and stay on the dry paths, which that's what everyone kind of chose to do.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
any other challenges that you can think of?
um, so we talked about snacks, talked about the puddles. I say fairly, it was a good like during the race. It was one of my best race I felt going in. So it's hard. I don't think I have that many outside of like 20 people and stuff. And now I remember there's more on the race itself because this time around I decided to not bring my own like water or electrolytes because I felt last year there was a lot and every 3 kilometers. Yeah, it was like almost every 3 kilometers you had electrolytes and water. And this time around, I was like, oh, okay, less on me. I can just run. I'll just take my like carbs and everything with me. But I'll just drink from the course. And the problem was there wasn't enough. Um, the first one that came for electrolytes was like probably around 11 kilometer.
Yeah.
Before that, there was nothing.
It
And
was the only one too.
yeah, it's the only one, and yeah, and there was so many. There wasn't that many water station, but there was a lot more water station than the electrolytes. The electrolyte station there was only two. I think there
No, there
was
was only one.
no, there was two in total.
No,
No, I had two. I
had
remember
two?
I had two because you
Where
had
was
to
it
look
then?
for the bottles that had the like logos on them instead
no,
of
but
like
all of the water cups
no,
were like that too.
I had two. A different. I think I had one at
Maybe it ran out.
17. Um,
I don't recall
Really?
because the only time I had electrolytes was at 11K where they gave away the nutrition, like the
yeah, the
stuff.
nutrition. It was the only time it was there, but electrolytes. Yeah, only
Okay, maybe
twice.
maybe like I just took the water instead.
Yeah, because I did have it later on.
Okay, so electrolytes. Where was it? You said a 17K because
I don't remember.
Okay,
It was
whatever.
later in the round, but there was two, and that was a challenge for me because I felt dehydrated in the last few kilometers, starting having like a headache, and I just like either I should have taken two with me or I should have had my own, but it wasn't detrimental to the race performance. I think my race going in was like they were like Rena told me is between 153 to 157 or 152 to 157. So taking into account the rain, the puddles, the lack of nutrition, and maybe other factors, I got 155. So that's like ooh. And it's a 35-minute PB compared to
Yeah.
the last year. So
No, it's great. I'm super like happy for you that
yeah,
like you're able to
yeah.
like sub 2, but also like like way more than like sub 2,
Yeah. Oh, it was good. I gave it my all. And I didn't want this race to be like any another race where I started giving up. And I think because I listened to this guy and he's like such a good guy on YouTube. It's like I don't know if it's run in Japan or, but this guy averages like 200 kilometers. One thing he said, it was like during his marathon, was like the moment he finds that he's, for him to give up is like to go off pace.
Okay.
So that was the thing. Also, one of the things I was using was like when I was getting slightly lower than my ideal pace, that I was telling myself, don't give up, keep pushing, just get through this. It's only another 2K, only another 5K, and don't try a new pace during your race day. Like, don't, just because you feel good because of the taper doesn't mean you're allowed to go like faster than what you trained for because you think magically you'll be able to just pull it off. And last year I was thinking like that and then it hit me back. Whereas this year I was like, okay, let me run in this pace. If I feel a little comfortable, let me try to get out of this pace. But if I start feeling not comfortable, let me get back to it. So just to know if I am the workout, what's the last 5%, gonna do?
So you've been
And
quitting all this time.
no, I haven't. But there
Okay.
may be time here and there.
Temptation.
Yeah, temptation. Or like I'll be close to home and I'll be like, oh, I don't
Yeah.
need to do another 300 meters to finish it. I'll just finish it right now.
Why would you even think of that? How do you even think about that?
I don't know. I'm just thinking because I didn't want to run the last 300 meters.
Yeah, but it's like you. But again,
But it's
you
like my
did.
brain telling me these things to give up because it doesn't want to. And I'll tell my brain, screw you.
Interesting.
Screw you, brain. You
Because
know?
like for me, my brain would be like, oh, you did most of the work. Like, might as well just get the job done. Like.
Yeah, that's part of it too. It's like, you already did, but I don't know. I have that part of my brain that's like wants to, and I tend not to. Like I challenge myself a
Interesting.
lot on it. It's like I wouldn't just quit. So the long part of my brain is like, it's like, no, you better be in the couch, sleep through this. Don't do any activities. But the other side of me is like, no, I'm still gonna do it. Like I don't want to work out every day, but I still do it because I need to, regardless if I'm feeling good. Also did a great PB, shout out to Anne. She did sub
Sub 2.
2.
Woo!
Woo! Oh, you killed it.
Yeah.
I was like,
I was not expecting that.
yeah.
It was not in my goal. Like it was okay.
Wasn't it?
It
Thought it
was
was.
it was a very for me it was a very outlandish goal, that was
Okay.
like very very far away, and I was going to be happy with 2:15, which would have been like 10 minutes or 11 minutes off my previous like time, or I would have been happy with like 2:10, you know.
You beat it
So
by 27 minutes.
yeah, so just seeing the 1 instead of the 2, I
Yeah,
was
it feels
like,
good.
oh. I think so. Basically, what happened is I was running, and then I saw there's 2 instances that made me feel very surprised about like my speed. The first instance was when so basically the track goes, you go like when you're going, there's the people that are faster going back, right? And so when I was going back, I saw people going forward, I guess. Does that make sense? I saw people going into the track as I was leaving out of the course, right? And I saw the pacer, like the 2:10 pacer, and I
Yeah.
was like, what? I was not expecting that. Like I was like, what the hell? And then eventually I saw the 2-hour pacer I was like, what? Like, what am I, what?
So you caught up to the 2 hour pacer? Is that what
Yeah, but I was very confused because she was going like back and forth, you know?
Yeah.
And she was having fun. She was chilling, you know? But I was like, still, she was still there. So that means like, you know,
You're in that range.
I was in that range and I was like, what the hell is happening, you know? But I just kept going, you know, because eventually, like, she went off, like, the pacer went off and, like, I couldn't see her anymore. Like, because you're very in the distance and I was like, oh, like, I'm not really, I don't think, you know.
That's not a good pacer. It's they just bounce off.
I don't know. I was like, oh, I don't think I'll make, but it's fine. At least I can see. That means like I'm not too far, like far gone, you know. And I think the last kilometer, that's when I kind of activated my nitro. You know, I don't know. I started going faster.
Did you beat her? Or
No, but I beat. There was two. There's another 2 hour pacer.
okay.
And
Interesting.
yeah, and so I was gunning for him like when I was the last 200 meters, and yo, the last 200 meter, I don't know about you, but that was long.
No, I enjoyed every bit of
Really,
it.
I was going ham. I was like, where's the finish line? Like, I can see it, but like I needed to come faster, you know?
Yo, you gotta love the finish line, the last 400 meters. It's just so fun because everyone is around you, like all the spectators, and you feel like, just you want to push it through and just get to the finish line as quick as possible. And for me, it was the fastest pace I ran the entire race.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, it just felt like you didn't care anymore about anything. And just like, oh, I see the finish line. I just want to get to it as strong as possible.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I saw the other 2 hour pacer and I was like, okay, well, I can't catch up to the first 2 hour pacer, but I can surely catch up to this guy. And so I like ran for my life and I surpassed him. And then I stopped my watch and then I looked at it and I didn't want to be too excited because, you know, like it's not the official time, you know. So I looked at it, it was 1:59:53. And I was like, oh, I'll just wait to see like the official results. And I think when I met you, you're like, sub 2. And then I received a text from.
Oh, you received a text?
Yeah, because Rosalie was texting me like sub 2.
Oh, she texted you right
Yeah,
away?
and so I was like, oh shit, like 2 people was like telling me that I like went below 2 hours. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah, it's such a good feeling because
Yeah.
you're like, because this is like a goal you strive for. You put all your effort in. You put in the months of training into it, and it lingers behind your mind. So to achieve it, it just feels like
Yeah.
like a great thing.
And I think at that moment, like, I understood, like, why people strive to meet a certain time.
And why is that?
It just feels nice, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it just feels nice because it feels unattainable until you do get it. And when you do get it, it just feels like you've accomplished, like, such a grand thing that you put for yourself that you've been like thinking about, during your training, whatever. It just seems like something like, oh, you wanted to do, and then like being able to like do it. It just feels, I guess, very validating in that moment, and yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. So probably we should finish off with the race part. And
I just want to talk about memorable moments, though.
did you have a lot of memorable moments?
I did.
Okay.
Okay, so how about we do one memorable moment? Okay, two.
Well,
2 memorable moments.
probably. I mean, the race felt like a big. It was so a blur in an extent. There was time where, I guess, seeing like some people I know was cool because
yeah, we saw Joseph. Shout out to Joseph. He's the first person that I saw.
oh yeah, it was him too.
Yeah.
Because it was ahead. Where was you? What's the Yuho?
He was too fast, man.
He was gone already.
Gone.
He was
Yeah.
like, I'm already at the finish line. I'm chilling,
Yeah, but I saw Joseph first, and then I saw, I think, Olivier after, like behind him. Like there was a couple of people. Like
Oh, you saw Olivier?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So I saw him, he was just chilling, he was
My man
chilling.
is chilling.
And then afterwards, I was like, oh, maybe like I can see like GF or maybe like, he's
Yeah,
probably around here somewhere,
yeah. Did you see him?
Yeah, I saw him,
Okay, okay.
Yeah, he was chilling too. He was like, hey.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people seem to be chilling, but inside they're like, oh, I'm trying my best to keep,
Yeah, and then I was trying to see Rosetta, but I couldn't.
She was just ahead of you by a minute, so you
I don't.
couldn't.
I thought she was like, cause okay, so me and my friend Rosetta, we ran together, at the beginning for like a 1 minute or two, and like, when someone wants to go like faster, and they just like look at you all the time, I'm just like, "Ugh, girl, just go, like.
She might have started fast.
Yeah. So I was like, girl, I'm not gonna slow you down. Just go, And
Yeah.
so she like went for it. And like I just couldn't see her anymore.
She had a good pick, like
Yeah.
that, because I saw her while I was looping back, and I think I saw her jump for that pick. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was kind of funny. She's pretty athletic.
Yeah. And I
that
saw
was a-
you
yeah.
later on. Yeah. I think that was a cool part is seeing people that because like last year we didn't
No.
see people that we know and
We didn't know that many runners at all.
That's true.
My whole friend group, nobody. Well,
yeah, our friends don't run.
well, no, because one of my friends started running, and he's been going crazy. Shout out to you, Sam. Try to get that marathon, man. You got it. He has his first marathon coming up on May 4th. And
this
wish
guy
him
does
the best of the luck here.
He does like half marathons on a treadmill,
This guy is he doesn't run, let's say, the whole week, and then he'll bust out like a 30K, just
on
like
a
that.
treadmill.
On a treadmill too, I was like, that's basically 60K in my eyes, someone running that much on a treadmill. No, so there are, but yeah, last year there wasn't that many. Well, nobody actually I knew except for Jeff, that from our Dragon Boat team, that was running.
Yeah, but did we know him at that point?
Yeah, we did, because we started December.
Yeah, we did.
He did a 10K.
Yeah.
I think he did a 10K.
Yeah, he did a 10K.
Yeah, so I saw him. I know, but we didn't run together in the same race.
Yeah.
So, we tend to like the longer races. It's just.
But anyways, seeing the
some people it's fun.
familiar faces was really fun.
Anything else?
And of
Very
course,
memorable. The last bit.
getting our PB, that was pretty memorable.
I didn't hear my name because I think I ran too fast that I end up being grouped with like 4 other people.
Okay.
So the girl was like, no, here, no, here.
Okay.
And it was like going really fast, so I couldn't listen. And I was trying to like know what time did I run, and I didn't stop my watch. So I had no idea because I was just so gone out of it that it took me 2 minutes. And I was like, oh no, I gotta. And then even when I stopped it 2 minutes later, it was saying like, I think like 157. And I was like, oh, okay. So maybe like I did get to, like, I was hoping I get to 155.
Yeah.
And then I saw it and I was like, yes, that's like, just felt good. But seeing you, I think at the end, seeing you, coming up to you, it was nice,
Yeah.
Well, those are a lot of memories. And
yeah.
But I wish the medal was at the more closer when you finish than at the end. There's a lot of walking to do.
Yeah, I was
to
like,
get
where's
to
the
it.
medal? I was like, where's
Yeah, I was like, did I lose
I was
it?
like, they were giving me snacks. I'm like, okay, like, thanks, but I gotta.
We came here for the medal,
But yeah, it was all the way at the end of the line, and they made you like work for it. They made you like walk for more.
Before you're like just at the beginning of the line, and they'll like give it to you. You're like, yeah, congrats. I really like that it was when it was at the front than at the end.
Yeah.
But regardless, great event. This is the second time I did it and thoroughly enjoyed it, even under the different weather conditions.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just giving myself, how do you say that? Manifesting, for next year, half marathon. I don't know if it'll be this year or next year. Hopefully this year. I want to do it.
Another one.
Yeah, I think because we're doing a marathon, so a good base before the full race is to test out what your so you can do a full try to do a marathon full out and see like, okay, is a time like where you see yourself like similar to what you envisioned for the full marathon. So probably I'm gonna do another one. Runners telling me I can do it in probably around 139 to 136 if I do the plan
Yeah.
properly. So that's my goal. I'm gonna try to do 10K first, then I'll do a full marathon training, and then in between that, I'll add a half marathon. And yeah, I'm super excited because it's just like a lot of different trainings coming along and different races, and it's gonna be
Yeah.
fun.
Man, like remember like yesterday we were talking and like I'm just like asking you like when does the training ever end?
It never does.
Oh my god, it just feels like we finish something. It's like at the same time I want to like continue and restart and like find another plan and like like organize another thing, but that I also feel like like when will I ever like just
But you can
again.
just run. You don't have to follow a plan.
I know, but
But I feel
it's like
the plan helps me
yeah.
structure my days. Like otherwise, I don't know if I'll be running as much. And my goal is just run more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, but then it's like I it's still fun and like I think now that I know that I have potential, like
You didn't think you had potential when you finished your marathon?
I knew I had like the endurance and I always know that I can mentally be there and
Yeah.
like mentally finish something, like that's never gonna be something that like that's gonna give out on my end.
Yeah.
It's probably just physical, but like mentally I know that I can do it. So the fact that like yeah, and like I was talking about like also the week prior, like how like I've never really thought of myself as someone athletic, and like throughout my whole life, like no one really like I did never got any like external validations from that aspect, right? It was
Yeah.
always like either my art or like my studies. So I was never really thought of or seen as someone like athletic. So this is a very sort of validating milestone, and yeah, it just like is motivating me to kind of push like as far as I can go in terms of this aspect. Because mentally, again, I know that I can do it, but physically,
Yeah, same.
that's the other question.
Just running in general, there's a lot of factor of your life that has to kind of change. Whether it's sleep, eating better, working out, they all like matter. And if you don't take that into consideration, your race time will get affected, or you won't even finish. So, and right now I'm driven by finishing, not only because I want to get a better time. It's just one thing is I don't want to lose to you. To be honest, that's like, oh, I can't let her get away from me.
Yeah, but you won. You won this time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you
Yeah.
say it, huh? No, but in general, like, I don't wanna. So those are like my main, like reason, like to see how far I can reach my body
Yeah.
at every distance from like 5K all the way to like ultra marathon one day, and also not lose to you, personally, So
Yeah.
so yeah, I strive for that, and everything around that is like you need to do all these other things to get there, and it's a learning experience. Sometimes I just started working on my legs, and I thought that was enough, but then I was like, oh, I need to work on my form, so I did that, and it was like, oh, now I have like upper back problem, so I have to work on that, and then I'm like, oh, I have a weak core, so like you learn different things. You go back, you advance, you learn more about different aspect. And there's so much more to learn, so it's kind of cool.
Yep. And I guess, well, you're planning on doing like another race in the summer, right? Or summer,
Yeah.
like before the marathon, because like we signed up for the marathon, and if there's something that like I do not want to do again, is run another almost like 5 hour marathon. Like that's disgusting. Like I want to stick to again as close to the 4 hour mark as possible, because after 4 hours, man, like I don't know how in the world like were able to like do an extra like 50 minutes. You know, it was just like
Yeah. Yeah.
so. Yeah, that's something that's motivating me to like, yeah, even if some days like training gets like
Under
rough,
4 would be great.
you know, like yeah, it's like I know that these little things will compound into like the actual like race, and like
Yeah.
hopefully not be
Yeah.
spending like 5 hours running again. Ooh.
Yeah. And it's okay. At the end of the day,
No man, that was traumatic. Like I don't
but in
understand.
ultra, you're gonna be running way more than that.
Yeah, but that's expected, you know. That's like okay, whatever. And you're like kind of pacing yourself, like walking, whatever. But like, but that and ultra is not something that I'm like wanting to do like right away either. So it's not really something on my mind, right?
I'm just saying it's okay. You're gonna have to get used to being on your feet and running, trying to run for more than 5 hours. Ultra sometimes can go up
Not
to,
for not for
regular.
me, man.
You ain't no way you're gonna finish an ultra in 5 hours, let's be honest.
Yeah, but again, I don't want to do ultra, but for marathon, like I think the trauma is still there. It's still recent, you know.
Yeah.
That I'm like I don't want to go through another like 5 hour.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
on that note, let's say bye to our listeners. Thank you for listening to us ramble for the last hour. I'm guessing it was
Has it
an
been
hour.
an hour?
And I don't know if it has been an hour.
Yeah, kind of.
Kind of. Well, thank you again. This was a recap. And again, we do this for ourselves just to document our own journey. But again, feel free to always listen to us. And thank you for being here every time.
And oh yeah, we forgot to open up with this. This is part of the post long run.
Well, I just said goodbye. So another time, we already
podcast.
finished. Bye.